Welcome to Tejano Time Podcast, where we celebrate the music, culture, and traditions of Tejano music. Thanks for joining us as we sit down with the biggest names in Tejano music. From legendary artists to rising stars, we will talk about their latest projects, share stories from the road, and maybe dive into history and heritage of Tejano music. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy this episode of Tejano Time. Here's your host, Keith Vian.
Welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, right here of the Tejano Time Podcast. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Thank you so much for tuning into the show everywhere. Everybody on the Tejano TV, we're streaming it live there también tonight. So saludos to everyone on Tejano TV every Monday, 8 o'clock. So don't forget that, man. I want to welcome back my good buddy here, Mr. Miguel Hernandez. That's right, just Mr. Raw Elements himself. Yes, definitely. And también my co-host, Mr. Antonio V, out over in West Texas también. So welcome back to the show, guys. And Miguel, welcome back, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yes. And we had a great show planned. We still do have a great show planned as well for everyone that's tuned in out there. Man, Miguel is doing some great stuff right now with a lot of new music, bringing back some of his older stuff también. And I would like to stress something just right quick, though, guys. On Miguel, if Tejano Nation put out a great article también on Mr. Miguel Hernandez. So if you guys have an opportunity to go out there to tejanonation.net and check it out, it's there. You can also view it también on Facebook, I believe it as well. Just go out there and check it out, man. They got a great article on him, on some of his accomplishments right now, what he's working on going forward and whatnot. So yes, definitely. So welcome back to the show, Miguel, and thank you for joining us here. I know it's been a busy weekend now coming into a Monday. Mondays are always stressful for a lot of us.
Stressful, man. But yeah, we had a good weekend. We were in Fort Worth, Texas, with Sunny Sauceda, and it was a blast, man. It's such a different element, man. And the people just really embraced the show, and so it was fun, man. It was a good time, but exhausting.
Yeah, I believe it, man. So you also came out of what was it, last weekend? It was the Cinco de Mayo weekend, I believe it was. También, I had a show out in Goliad. También, I heard, talked to some friends who were out there. Mr. ACL Productions, Alejandro Lopez. Some of you guys put a hell of a show on there, man. You guys killed it.
Oh yeah, man. It was fun, man. It was 4 shows in 3 days, man. So it was
yeah. También, yeah, we're in H-Town también, in Houston, that early on that day, también Saturday. So yeah, man, always on the road doing great things. And he's got a new a project that you're working on, right? So as to, getting some of the old stuff out and remastering it, or just redoing some of the songs from back in the days. Tell me a little bit about that project, Miguel.
So this year I'm working on 2 projects, actually. So the anthology album are re-recorded songs from my first 2 albums, and just kind of re-recording them, remixing, remastering, giving them a different edge on them. And Nunca Volverás was the first single off of that anthology album, and it's doing really well. I'm really happy about that. So it's just one of those things that never got heard back in 2003. So yeah. So now people are hearing it for the first time, it seems. So it's good, and I'm working on another full EP coming out in by the end of the year. So there should be 2 albums, hopefully, Dios quiere, by the end of the year, 2 EPs.
That's interesting that you said, that you're bringing back another song, from 2003. We're hearing that a lot more from the artists, some songs that maybe just got left out or didn't get heard enough. And I hear more and more of you guys redoing those songs and giving them, another opportunity, I guess, for the people to really, really check it out.
Well, that's the thing. We kind of touched on this last week when we had spoke, is that's why I tell any artist that I'm working with now, um, that they want to put out a full album,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was back in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that how many songs out of that album like were really singles. There was only probably two or three, so you
Right.
had other seven songs that just never got heard, you
Yeah.
know,
Other.
and
Yeah.
and so I was guilty of that as well. So that's why it's a great opportunity because um, you know nobody's heard this song, or maybe they have, or they just forgot about it, and so bringing it back into back in the spotlight, right, and just releasing that single so that way it can get heard,
Yeah.
instead of releasing an album, and then chances are that's just a waste of time, energy, money, song, and so that's why I think now, because the way everything's changed, with digital
Mm-hmm.
platforms and social medias, and it's just best to just do a single and try to really push that single, like a huevo, they have to hear it.
You have to hear it. Yeah.
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 Que no quieren hear it.
So
And then at the end of the year, for those people that still like, well, are you gonna do an album? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, all those songs that we've been playing throughout the year, they'll be on an EP for you.
Yeah, they'll definitely be on it after. Yeah, and you've already had, and by then they've already had a fair opportunity to hear the song también, because it's again a single. And I like the way the way that the industry is now with the technology, with the digital platforms, versus doing an album. I mean, the album is there, but again, 7 of the songs get shelved, and they probably will never hear them, or unless you again digitally download the entire album. But radio wise, if you want to go out there and promote it, promotional, it's not going to happen because you're going to release whatever singles you're going to release. So yeah, I think it's a great thing for the industry.
It's a really it's a big injustice, man, to think about it. Like just like we said before, yeah, in our previous conversation, that's a lot
Hmm.
of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of money, a lot of
Yeah,
production ideas, and it's really unfair to the songwriters.
true.
Like here they're giving you what they think is their best song, and it didn't make the cut for a single, so
Hmm.
it just got swept under the rug, man. So
Yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
yeah,
Now that I know, Raza, going back to Raza, but where's the album? Or why do you have to do a single? And I know you
yeah.
don't understand it, but for us, it's like this is the best way to, make a few pennies off of that one song, make
Hmm.
sure that everybody gets credit for that song, that everybody
Yeah.
knows who the songwriters were, who the musicians were, and let it run its course, and then give them another one, and then
So
it's
on.
something's got to give.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt about that
yeah,
for
it's like
sure.
technology has just changed so much that back in the 80s and 90s, you couldn't wait for a CD or a tape to be out, and like you
Right.
said, only 2 or 3 songs. And now, with the technology, like you said, one song you're going to be forced to hear it. So and
Right.
it gets out quick. And that's the other thing. I To get an album out, I think right now is probably hard for you guys, because it's not the way it used to be.
Right.
But like you said, si le echas ganas and you put everything into it, you ain't got it. People won't have a choice. You're gonna listen to it, and whether it does good or not. But I think it's awesome that, still going back to that you're bringing back some of the other tracks that didn't really get heard, and you're like, why didn't this song get heard? Okay, you know what? We're gonna get it. We're gonna redo it, and we're gonna put it out there. So,
So
and it's the way it works.
that's I was kind of talking to some other people about the idea, and they're like, well, the anthology, is it you're just gonna do one? And I was kind of thinking that it could be a volume collection. So this will
Yeah.
be volume one.
Volume 1.
I
Awesome.
know it's hard to believe, but this anthology album will actually be my ninth album. So there's
Wow.
there's a lot of songs that a lot of people have not heard, you know,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating because it's still, I've been in this industry over 20 something years, right?
Yeah.
And there's sometimes I go out there and they're like, oh man, that homenaje song, the one you did for La Sombra, that was great. Like, oh,
It was. It's amazing.
I appreciate it. Cool. Did you hear any of my other stuff? Oh, you have more stuff? Like,
Chingao. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
like, man. So anyway, so like all those songs, they will get, recycled, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely. So that's something's working on. And Miguel has got some great music and a great voice. He does a lot of work in the studio, whether it be helping out other musicians también, and they come in and put some work with him. The music just is amazing. Everything that he puts together is production. It's not anything that falls short, of anything. You got to take a listen to it, and I'm sure Tony, you've listened to it and you've heard a lot of his stuff in the past and whatnot. It's great, man. Great sounding music. You know what I mean? It's not something that you record in the garage. You know what I mean? It's amazing with amazing and talented musicians también on the side. But I want to send this out right quick. Let's see. Okay, let me get this right here. Leo y Tentacion is also on there. He says, "Saludos, hello guys," and he says, "Never will I do an album."
That's no reason to anymore.
Yeah. Saludos. Bobby Castañeda también. Saludos to the show. Yes. I agree with the recordings. It says here, it's a shame that happens, but in your heart, it's a great song and it's expensive when you're doing it solo. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because now, there is no more Sonys, there's no more Capitals, there's no, Freddie's the only one still doing, a bit of Tejano.
Yeah.
So, there's no $250,000, signing bonuses and things like that, man. Yeah, so it's all out of pocket, man. A lot of these artists, that come to me, it's not cheap. It really isn't. And they're like, man, that's just for one single. And I'm like, yeah, you got to pay the musicians, pay the studio time. You got to, whatever the case may be. But so it's like, man, so think about if you were to put out a full album, that's some coin. And it's hard. It's very hard. And that's why, like I've said it before on my social media panels, it's just like, kudos to all the artists that are still doing what they do, having their stuff, fall on deaf ears and still putting out music and still scraping around, money to do what they do because of the love of the music.
Yeah.
And so, it's tough, man, but blessings to them and kudos to them to continue doing what they love to do, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Miguel, a quick question for you there. You're living in San Antonio. You've been in San Antonio since you came down back, in the 90s, 94, 95, something like that, when you moved actually from up north? Ohio,
yeah.
Was it?
From Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan. Okay. So, yeah. So, being in San Antonio this many years, quite a few years. You're talking about almost 30 years, right? Or about 28, 29 years, something like that. But check this out. I mean, a quick question, because I know it's difficult there in San Antonio. They want to label themselves as the capital of Tejano music or whatnot. I mean, it is what it is. Go ahead and take that, and run with it. How well do you get the support there in your hometown for, Miguel Hernandez? No, I just had to throw it out there, you know what I mean? Because I know how some people are, some people work. It's just, I figured I'd ask you. You've been there that long, so
So my father used to tell me this, este dicho de México: un rey nunca es rey en su propio hogar. Mm-hmm. A king is never a king in his
property,
in his realm, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how it is right now. Yeah, there is, other than K Alamo, I mean, there's no other support. That's including from clubs. It's funny because, I mean, it's not funny, but I had this conversation with a promoter from a club, mm-hmm. and we played at the club a few times, but because of our schedules, I haven't reached out to this person. So I spoke to them and I said, hey, you know what? I got some availability. Are you, where can you fit us in? And they're like, oh, you know what, Miguel, I'm sorry, but I just can't afford you. That was one. And I was like, well, okay, well, what about this other club? This other location, and they're like, oh, we're not doing Tejano there anymore. Okay, what about the other spot? They're like, we're not doing Tejano there anymore either. Well, why? Nobody showed up. Nobody came out to support.
Yeah.
And then you see all the bitching and complaining on social
Right.
media. There's no place to go. There's no Tejano places. Well, guess what? There was some really nice spots that were
Exactly.
We're not hole in the walls. They were not some dingy, South Side, club. No offense. I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm just saying it's not some little dingy hole in the wall place. These were nice, classy places, and they were trying to do Tejano. They tried, doing this, and it's like we're not doing it anymore because nobody showed up
Yeah.
and couldn't pay anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So what about this other spot? And they said, well, we can do this much, but it's just not feasible,
Right.
and well, why? Because nobody's coming out to support.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming out
That's
to
true.
support, and that's so. To answer your question, yeah, for being at the Tejano music capital of the world, there is no support,
No support whatsoever. Yeah.
and
Sad.
that's very
B-
sad.
Yeah.
Very
Blows
and,
some serious ass right there. Yeah. Big
yeah,
time.
and it's just like, and then for example, like we do this, this show with Sunny, and this was at a country bar in Fort Worth, country. So puro bolillo, bro.
Yeah.
Puro bolillo. Y estaba hasta el tronco, bro.
Wow.
I mean, this club made some serious coin. And I'm not saying that they all went to go see Sunny.
Yeah.
But the whole fact of the matter that for those that went to go see Sunny, they knew what to expect. For those that showed up because they were regulars at this place, they ended up staying and enjoying the show. Y esos que no sabían cómo bailar, no sabían la idioma, but dude, they made the best out of it, and they had a hell of a good time, and they made
nice.
so welcome. And I'm like, oyes, y nuestra gente qué?
Exactly.
Nuestra gente qué? Estos son puros bolillos. First, they want us out of the country, and then we're giving them a good time, and then now they're all, supporting us, having a great time with us, dancing to our music, doing this, and it's just like, oyes, vato, qué lástima de veras. Y nuestra raza qué? You have these opportunities and these places that are trying to give you Tejano music, and nobody supports.
Nobody supports.
Nobody.
Yeah.
But you go to these places when they have, De Parranda, or they have Frontera, they have Secreto, y los Mexicanos, dude, and they don't care spending $100, $500 for reserved tables, bro. And it was amazing too. Like, we went to go see. We went down to the San Padre thing that they had a couple weeks ago. And from what I understand, I know David Lee performed Secreto, some other whatever, and they said it was dead. It was, at the place. However, when we got there, we just we didn't time it right, so we showed up late. So we ended up getting there when Intocable played. So from what I understand, there was like $200, $350 a seat. Seat, bro, to see Intocable or to get into this venue. And everybody waited and that place was packed. Y puro Mexicano. Not even Tejano, Mexicano.
Yeah.
And they can support with that kind of billete, bro.
Yeah.
Y nuestra raza qué? They said, and I asked, David Lee, they're like, man, there was hardly anybody here for that. Like, wow, man, like it's sad, bro. And that's why we as artists, man. I mean, again, not calling anybody out in particular, but there's a lot of artists that I talk to that I'm like, man, like we ask ourselves, why are we doing this? Why do we continue doing what we do?
Because you love it.
Because you love
it. That's got to be the only obvious, statement. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And so that's why, man, like it's people like yourselves, these independent, internet stations that are, trying to play new music and trying to, they're fighting the good fight too, man. You know, don't get me wrong. There's still some Tejano proud that they claim to be Tejano proud, but they don't know who any of these new artists are. But they know the Selena and the David Lee and the Shelly and Jay and hey, well, what about so and so? Who? I never heard of. Oh, can you send me their music? Like, oh god, it's only 99 cents on iTunes, bro. Pero,
you can't even get them to pay $5 at the door. You know what I mean? La raza, wey.
And that's so true, Miguel, because we just had our first ever Tejano Music Awards here in Lubbock, right? The first thing that we put on the table, and no disrespect to anybody, we weren't going to have the Signos, the Intocables, or the Michael Salgado. Well, Michael Salgado is from here, but you know what I'm getting at, right?
Right.
We did nothing but West Texas artists because they needed the exposure. It's time that somebody steps up to do that. And, I'm not going to say I did it all by myself, but myself and 22 Entertainment out of San Antonio, we pulled it off. We had over 700 people show up. And this is for new artists that, like you said, who? And now these guys are out there, man. They're at Jamaicas. I just went to a Cinco de Mayo with them out in Big Springs. People are realizing, there really is a lot of talent here in West Texas.
Absolutely.
Like you said, I'm not tired of going to San Antonio or to Houston to go see Keith, right? But, we get tired, that we've got it right here in our backyard.
Right.
So why not do something with that? And man, we did it, and hopefully, si Dios quiere, we're going to continue to do that because there's a lot of talent out there, and I think now they're not scared to go out there and do something with it.
And that's the thing, right? Is that like you, again, la raza, they don't understand. Like it's happening in front of their face. Yeah, Elida's retiring. This is her last year. Bobby's retiring. Shelly retired. Like, how many other bands there? It's kind of limited time.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then what?
Right.
Then who's next? It's time to pass that torch. I'm not saying that they can't play anymore, but what I'm saying is that, hey, man, once the Jays and the David Lee are gone, and it's like those bands that they're like, who? They're going to wish that they knew somebody because now there's not going to be anybody else. And then if people think that Tejano's dead now, once those are gone, then it's really going to be hard to kind of bring that back. And that's like, and I'm so for like we talked about before, Keith, was that we need to have more venues that are family friendly, to have the kids involved, so they can hear the music. They can have those memories of mom and dad dancing to Lo de Nosotros se acabó, whatever song, but that they need to see that. They need to be in that ambiente to know what their culture is, what their ambiente is about. So they can continue, passing on that torch to keep our culture alive. And right now, again, business is business, and it's all about the bottom line. But that bottom line is killing the culture. It's killing our everything, our ambiente, everything. The Tejanos, the Tejano kids that, they're all they know right now is corridos, the norteño stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's because they don't have that outlet to be exposed to, these bands, the Tejano music. All they know is Selena, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just it's sad, man. And that's why I'm very grateful that Miguelito, is Migs is followed in the Tejano culture, and he did it all on his own. I really thought he was going to be more of the metal drummer, but he grabbed to Tejano, and man, he's really loving it.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old, my kid Debs, he's a rocker. He's like, nah, Dad, I don't want to do Tejano. I just want to do rock. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But so it. Go ahead.
And that's funny you said that too. About our kids right now, because Keith can vouch for it. When we didn't do nothing this year, but 3 years we've done the Riverwalk Fest there in San Antonio, and I have a 10-year-old that puro rap music or whatever, but you know what? He goes out there, he's enjoyed it, and he's still young, but one of his favorite bands now is the Ibarra Boys, those young. He's. I'm like, what is he listening to? And I'm listening to him more and more on Alexa or whatever, and he's playing some of the music that stays in his head from the events that we've done, because when we do the events out there, it's nothing but new artists también, and it stays in his head, and I like that, because he's 12, but he grew up or he's growing up to be a big fan of the Ibarra Boys, and I don't know what else he listens to, but
that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying.
There's music coming out of his room, and I like that. I really do.
And that's the thing, that we just have to keep them engaged, and we got to find some more outlets so they can be more engaged, and I don't know, man. I wish, I wish I had the money to just, do these events or just win the lottery so I could, find a way to do some more events and just, just make it more family friendly, man, and try to find that formula that will entice the young people again, man, and I don't know, it's tough, man.
It is tough, and actually, right now, nobody has the formula. You know what I mean? They are trying, not even trying, but I mean, just to put that together would be just amazing right now. But just like their promoters, they're all over the place right now, all over the place.
I think what it is too, though, we say there's no formula, but it's right there. Mm-hmm. The artists are still doing their thing because they love it. And as tough as it is, you know what? Who cares? I'm going to keep doing my thing. Y el que oiga, oiga. I like what Miguel said. If you listen to, you ain't got a choice. You're going to listen to it or you're not, right?
Right. And that's the thing. Like, you can listen to it, and you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And that's what I tell people about my music. My music is not. It's not for everybody, and I get it. I get the whole. Man, Miguel, your music makes sense to nobody but yourself because it's so progressive. It's music for musicians. It's not for everybody. And I'm like, that's fine. I mean, as long, I just feel, and I don't mean this in any egotistical way whatsoever, but it's just like, I got to stay true to myself as an artist.
There you go.
There's a lot of bands out there that are pocket bands, and I get it, and I respect that. But musically, I want to do something different, and my music's always been different, and I want to push that envelope, and I don't mind pushing that envelope because I don't have to report to anybody. It's on my dime, it's my time, it's my studio, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, well, you can swipe.
You know what you can do with that, right? Exactly, yeah. But let me get some shout outs right quick, Miguel and Tony. Let's see, we got Luis Garcia from Rio Grande City. Saludos, Miguel Hernandez. Luis Garcia from over there. And también Mr. Jay Sterling out there. Saludos, Keith, Tony, and bro Miguel.
My
Jay
man.
Sterling. Yes, another amazing artist right there.
That's another artist, man, that people need to keep an eye on, man. That's
doing great things.
And his music, man, is very youthful, and those are the kind of artists, man, that need to be played more so they can entice the youth, man. And I don't know, man. It's aggravating. It's like, you're just beating your head on the wall, man.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's no doubt about that, and it's tough. David Valdez says, yes, we have been at it for 47 years and still playing. David Valdez.
Yeah, man. Kudos, man.
Sammy Torres also. Howdy, folks. Another West Texas artist right there on the rise as well. Rising star.
Yeah.
Yep. Sammy.
Very much so.
Yeah. Jay Starling again says, Ibarra Boys Throw Down. One of my favorite up-and-comers right there.
Yeah.
For sure. Gigi La Chicana over in Mission, Texas. También is tuned in.
Mission, Texas in the house.
Yes. Sammy says, I talk to kids at elementary schools and kids at churches. All right.
Yep.
Awesome. Good deal for you. That's great. Amazing.
Yeah, we
So yeah, everybody that's out there tuned in, I appreciate you guys. Had to stop by to support the homies. That's coming from Jay as well. So saludos, Jay. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. Good deal.
thank you.
So yeah, getting back here to the show here with Miguel Hernandez. If you're joining us, guys, share the live también as well. To everybody on Tejano TV tuned in, thank you. We appreciate you watching our here at Tejano Time podcast. Let's play a tune right quick from Miguel. So, we're talking about his music and whatnot. Let's go ahead and play his current single that's out right now, and it's available on all digital platforms. And that's off the volume 1 right here. Check this out right here. Nunca Volverás is the name of the song, guys, okay? From Miguel Hernandez. So we're going to play that tune for you guys out there, and we'll be right back here to talk a little bit more with Miguel Hernandez, and maybe we'll get some information, and we'll talk to Migs. I don't know if he's there or not, but we'll figure something out here in just a bit.
Sure.
Awesome. Good deal. Here we go.
Y así se dice, estilo Miguel Hernández. Come on. No se me olvidó de todo lo que pasó. No quiero que vuelvas aquí con tantos desprecios. Nunca pensé sin ti volver a amar, pero yo sin ti estoy más vivo. Pero ya estoy feliz y sin ti ya puedo sonreír. Nunca volverás en estos brazos otra vez. Ya no me causes más engaño, por favor. Nunca volverás en estos brazos otra vez, porque yo sin ti estoy más vivo. No se me olvidó de todo lo que pasó. No quiero que vuelvas aquí con tantos desprecios. Nunca pensé sin ti volver a amar, pero yo sin ti estoy más vivo. Pero ya estoy feliz y sin ti ya puedo sonreír. Nunca volverás en estos brazos otra vez. Ya no me causes más engaño, por favor. Nunca volverás en estos brazos otra vez, porque yo sin ti estoy más vivo. No te quiero. Nunca volverás en estos brazos otra vez. Ya no me causes más engaño, por favor. Nunca volverás en estos brazos otra vez, porque yo sin ti estoy más vivo. No te escondas, que ya te vi.
There you have it right there, guys. That is Nunca Volverás from Miguel Hernandez. That's the brand new single that's out and available on all digital platforms. So go stream it, guys. That's right. Search it. Apple Music, Spotify. You can also check it out on YouTube. También, wherever you get your music from, guys. You stream it from, go out there and grab it. It's available on all platforms, okay?
All your friends.
Yeah. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbors. Sanchos, your Sanchez, lo que sea, no?
Yeah.
Good deal. So, hey, we were talking about it earlier on the last show we had, because he was on my radio show recently, también, Mr. Miguel Hernandez. But your son, he's 14 years old now, right?
He's 14.
Yeah, 14 years. And Miguelito, and he plays drums currently right now for Mr. Sonny Salcedo. Salceda, and 14 years old. He wouldn't. I mean, is he there with you right now?
He is.
And you don't want to get on,
No,
just to say hello, just to say hello.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Hey,
Hello.
hey, brother, how's it going, man?
Good. How about y'all?
Great, great. Long time don't see.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute.
Yes. So how you been, man?
I've been good, just being busy with my pops and just being on the road, having fun and
That's
enjoying.
good. Yes, 14 years old, plays drums for Sonny, guys. I mean, not too many people can say that for in the industry that 14 years old playing for any band. You know, I'm sure there's some youngsters out there, but at 14 years old, you didn't think did you ever think you were going to be playing drums for a group at this age?
Honestly, I wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
fell right into place, man. Blessed.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be playing? I mean, I'm a big Sunny Salcedo fan, so I'm sure you were a fan too. So how does it feel to be back there jamming out with, one? I know you're 14-year-olds, but Sunny Salcedo is badass. So how does it feel to be playing with the badass like that?
I really do love it. I enjoy being behind the drums and just jamming out, especially with my pops being on the side with me. I love experiencing that full background, and
Yeah.
I love just being me and being with my pops and just enjoying it, and I love it so much.
A lot of respect for your dad for allowing you to do that. You're 14 years old. I'm sure you hear it time and time again, but I'm way up there in age, man. But you know what? Keep your head up, keep doing your thing, and continue your education. Yeah.
Thank
And if you ever guys need anybody to play the cowbell, that is your man right there, Mr. Antonio. Okay. Awesome, right there. Yeah. So yes, man. So again, man, you just continue to do what you do, my young brother. Just continue to do it. As to again, shout out to your father for allowing you to do that. You know what I mean? At such a young age, which is great. You know what I mean? It's that you're loving it. You love what you do, and you got a great teacher with your father there, right there. Teaching you along the way, teaching you the ropes and whatnot. And you've done some other gigs también on the side for other groups in the past también where you sat in on drums and whatnot too. So that's amazing. And we've seen a lot of video clips here and there that you guys post and whatnot. And this guy, if you've never seen this guy up there drumming his solo and all that, he even during sound check, man, he's awesome. He sounds damn good. So yeah. Good deal. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here at Migs, and we'd love to have you back again later on in the future. You know what I mean? To see what other projects you may take on or whatnot. I mean, right now you have a home with your with Sonny and whatnot, so that's a good thing. And you never know; it'll blossom into something else in the future. Who knows?
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome, everyone. Take care, man.
I will. Thank you. You too.
For sure. Awesome. Good deal, man. We had to say hello to him, man.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And then you got his other young son back there. Is that the rocker?
That is my kid.
Yes. Awesome. Good deal. Yeah. So look at him right there. He's the one. You said he was putting out some couple of singles, right?
He's got 2 singles right now on digital platforms. His first song was kind of like a, I don't want to say a parody, but it was more for like a Halloween theme, and I mean I'm sure y'all know I'm a rocker at heart, right? So
yeah,
so it was more of a rock tune, and we went a little heavy on it, but it did well, and there was some things that actually came out of it. So we're looking to do his first show at a haunted hayride. So he's going to do a full 45-minute set with a band, and he's going to have some of his friends playing as well, in it. And of course, I'll be and Miguel or Migs is going to be play drums, and then he just released one early this year, and that one kind of, the song is called American Zombies, but it's not what you think. It's not about like the kid talking about zombies or whatever. It's actually talking about the youth kind of being taken in by commercialism and bullying and having them be something that they're not. And it's a really deep song, and he kind of blew me away with the lyrics when he showed them to me. He did a lot of rewrites, and I was like, well, maybe you want to try this, and maybe you want to try that, or maybe rephrase this different. And once he came in with a full idea, I was like, holy cow, this is really deep.
Yeah.
And so his song American Zombies is on all digital platforms. So and he's got a show coming up in October for Halloween, just in time. So
Heck yeah.
it's gonna be a heavy show, man. It's gonna be a really heavy show.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome. Started him off young, man, and loving music, and he wanted to be the rocker. So hey, man, whatever floats his boat, and he's again, young age like that. That's just amazing. And Migs también, you got some talented young man right there, Miguel.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it, man.
And that's what Marcus Daniels says también. He says here, it says, what does Marcus Daniels say in here? He says, my talented amigos, Miguel and Migs, Marcus Daniels.
Thank you, Marcus. We got to work on another one for you, man.
Yeah, Mr. Marcus Daniels was at the Midnight Mariachi. What is his nickname there? Great guy right there. Hello, and Mr. Jay Sterling says, hell yeah, I love that. Got to start him young with the writing and everything. There's no doubt about that, yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's, I guess that's the one thing that just really blew me away, man, is the idea and his concepts, and and I really feel that he's going to be a great producer, man, because he's very, very savvy already at 10 years old, man. He goes around the computer, man, and he's really interested in like editing and on my Pro Tools, watching me, and so he's going to be a force to reckon with when he gets older.
Yeah, because at 10 years old, man, I can't even think about working with Pro Tools. You know what I mean? It's tough.
And again, man, I mean, that's kind of the oh my God, brain fart. But I guess that's just the thing is that they don't have that choice, because I'm working in the studio, or I'm always playing this type of music, and I'm very blessed, man, that like Miguelito, he's very eclectic, because I'm eclectic, and the same thing with Noel. He listens to everything, and he's right there with me in the studio, so he's watching what I do, and now that he's getting more computer savvy on himself, he's like, oh, I know what you're doing, Dad. Oh, I know what you're doing, and oh, can I do that? Can I edit that? And I'm like, yeah, man, sure, go for it. And so it's pretty wild, man. Wow.
Yeah. For him to catch on to like that is amazing. Johnny Riojas también says, hello, blessings, gentlemen. Johnny Riojas. And we also got Mr. Juan H. Trevino. What's up, guys?
That's my guy.
Another outstanding artist.
H. Jimenez endorsee.
Yeah. Yeah. Saludos, Juan. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Javier Gonzalez. Saludos, guys, from the Delta Boys in the house as well.
Man, those guys are hard to get a hold of, Javier. I've been trying for about 6 months already, man. I wanted to collab something with y'all, man, but I've been trying to get in touch, man. I sent some messages, some DMs, and maybe you can reach out to me, man. I'd appreciate it.
There you go, Javier. The message is in the air. All right. Norma Salazar says, hello, Miguel Hernandez. También she's tuned into the show. Thank you, Norma. If I can get her on here. There we go. There we go. So, yeah.
Norma's always got my back, man. She's always keeping me updated on who's on and get on to the stream and request my music, and she's always got my back.
There you go. Yes, for sure. Great people right there. And saludos también para George Salazar también. Where got actually a date coming up with him as well that's in the books, but they don't know about it yet. But we had one scheduled recently, but it didn't work out. So we got one coming up for George. So be on the lookout for that. I know he's got some new tunes as well that are out. So yeah, saludos. So yeah, man. So I mean, Miguel is doing great things right now, guys. He's got some good music, man. You got to give this guy an opportunity, or just not an opportunity, but a chance to just go out there and stream the music, man. Just take a listen to it. There's a lot of great music that he has in his catalog. Go out there, and he's still making music right now as we speak. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's got projects in the works right now. He's doing a lot of great things. Videos, you're just going to lay low on the videos right now. I think the last time we had this conversation, you said you weren't sure yet of what's coming out.
I mean, I think
the conversation we had was more like playthroughs and stuff. So those,
Okay.
I'm just kind of, I don't know, man. I'm just not a video guy, right? But however, I am collabing with an artist that I so want to say the artist name, but I kind of want to, but yes, but there is going to be a video for this summer banger that's coming out that this gentleman produced and wrote, and it was going to be one of those things where he was gonna let me record the song, and I was like, no, man, like we're gonna do this song together, man.
Together.
And so I personally feel, and I'm putting it out there to the universe, that I think this is going to be the summer banger, and I'm really excited to finish working on it. We were both kind of came down with something where our vocals were just not up to par for recording, so I'm still trying to get over my little congestion so I can get these vocals done. But there is a music video in the works for this particular song when it comes out. So
be on the lookout for that, guys, as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Miguel Hernandez. Tony?
Man, I love that your boys are back there with you. You're backing them up with what they want to do. Like Jay said, you got to start them off young, and that's awesome that they're doing that, and that they've got you to back them up and support them as well too. Is there anything that you would to our listeners that you would like to say to our listeners? A lot of these upcoming artists. Any advice? You've been in the business obviously for a minute. Anything that you would like to share with some of these artists that are out here watching and listening right now?
The only thing I could really say, man, for these artists, man, for sure, is to stay true to yourself. These bands that jump on the bandwagon, they might hit their stride, but once they hit that stride, it's like, where do you go from there? So
yeah,
they followed the rest of the train instead of creating their own railroad track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing I could say, man. Stay true to yourself. Work hard. Just keep. Those doors are going to shut on in your face. These comments are going to be negative, but you just gotta push through, man. And that's the hard part, And whenever you feel like you're done, that's when you gotta keep up and just stay focused. And it's I do have somewhat of a challenge for your listeners, man. I was gonna post this on my Facebook, but I think I might do it tonight, or I might do it tomorrow. But I'll start by doing it public here. I was kind of looking over the algorithms and the numbers through my streaming platforms, and the listeners that I have are actually predominantly male listeners, and the female listeners are really low. And I was thinking to myself, why is that? Why is it like I'm not hitting the women circle so much? So the challenge is, I would like to have some more females actually share and repost my music to try to entice the female audience to check out my music. Because I was kind of, me and Migs were actually kind of talking about it a little bit, that it's probably more male predominant because it's so musical, and there are probably more musicians that are listening to it. But I think there's some songs out there that are I think captivating for the female audience.
Maybe the female's looking for a romantic song.
So maybe there's a few of them out there. Like I have Acuérdate, is a cumbia. It's romantic. It's and Siempre Contigo is another Tejano ranchera that's heartfelt. And so maybe those are the kind of songs that I would like to see if they could share and post and things like that. So I challenge all the females to take a listen to some of my music and see if they can help out and reach that demographic for me.
And share it as well, for sure.
Share, Of course. Yeah.
Great.
So-
Yeah. So you get challenge is on, guys. Herbie Atkinson también. Let's see. Saludos, Miguel. Repping the Midwest for sure.
Always, man. Southwest Detroit all the way.
There you go, man. Good guy as well. He was on the show not too long ago también. Great character, man. Great guy as well. So yeah, Miguel, we are looking forward to that new single that's going to be dropping, like you said, new collab. It's going to be hitting there summertime. So be on the lookout for that. You guys that are watching the show también, we definitely are waiting to see how that one comes out and whatnot. I mean, it's, like you said, it's going to be one for the summer for sure. It's going to pop. So be on the lookout for that. And any gigs you got coming up just to perform with Sonny coming up, just for the record?
Actually, no. We're there's a few dates in between. However, I am kind of excited. I'm actually this Saturday coming to Eagle Pass to the Kickapoo Casino, and I'm actually going to be sitting in with a tribute band to Maná. However, it's interesting because it's actually the Maná band without the drummer and the vocalist. So it's actually the Maná band. So I'm a little nervous, I guess. It's just because I want to make sure that I do my part right.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of homework, man. And I have so much going on, and I feel because I'm getting older, I can't retain the information anymore. So like, oh my God, and so it's a little nerve-wracking, man. But it's gonna be fun, man. So all those people that are from Eagle Pass, if we have any Eagle Pass listeners, man, I'll be at the Kickapoo Casino there. And there is some future dates for the Miguel Hernandez band, a reprieve, I guess you could say, and I'll be posting those dates on all my social media platforms and stuff. So,
awesome.
I got a lot of music
coming. Make sure you get some video from that performance over at the Kickapoo for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Yeah. That's going to be awesome to check out right there. There's no doubt about that. See if you got everything down, if you remembered anything.
Oh, great.
No, he's been practicing, guys. I mean, I said I had him on a couple of weeks back, so about a week and a half ago, and he was already working on it, so he's still doing his thing. So yeah, but be on the lookout for that, man. If you're going to be in that area out there over in the Eagle Pass, be something to check out, man. Saludos to everyone, coming from Mr. Adrian Peña también, who's tuned in right there, and Adrian Peña, I believe, is Los Arcos, no?
Yeah.
Another amazing band doing great things. So, yes, saludos to everybody who tuned into the show, man. A lot of amazing artists, también, a lot of up-and-coming rising stars, también, who tuned into the show right here. Miguel Hernandez, my guest tonight, guys. Be on the lookout for that new single coming out this summer, probably before summer. No actually official date yet, right?
No, so I am releasing a song coming up. It's going to be another installment from the anthology album.
Okay.
And I'm looking at probably about in July will be the summer banger, probably right around 4th of July, and getting so it hits right in dead summertime. So
good summertime, good deal,
yeah,
for sure. The Realist Game Farm. What's up, Tony? How we doing, brother? I had a blast put here in Big Spring, I guess, over in Big Spring.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Realists. They were out there for the Cinco de Mayo out there with Entrego, Superado, Stephanie, La Energía. So we hadn't seen each other in probably about 10 years. So shout out. Thank you for joining us.
Good deal.
Yes,
amazing.
sir.
And
Big
Tony,
Springs.
if you other events, man, I'm itching to get out there to the Lubbock area, man. Let me know.
Yeah, we'll keep. I've already got your name down and stuff too. So hopefully we can plan something here. There's something in the works. I wasn't going to say very much, and I'm just going to leave it right there.
All right. Tony.
Yeah. Don't want to spill them pot of beans right now, right, Tony?
Right.
Hey, but check this out. One more song before we go, guys, and we're going to wrap things up here. We got about 6 minutes, but I want to play this song right quick. This is another tune, another track that's out también available. Miguel Hernandez, La Duda is the name of the song. Tell me a little bit about that song right quick, Miguel, before we slap that on there for everybody.
Just one of the songs that I wanted to cover. Again, going back to the whole, man, Miguel, your music is so busy. It's so this and so that, but yet norteños are doing it, and having these monster musicians just overplay, and people are just eating it up. And even Tejano, like, oh my God, they're so good. Like, really? I thought you said I overplay. So I wanted
to recapture that and just produce it and give it a little bit Miguel touch, and it did really well for us. Like, go figure, right? And even when Miguelito was the one that recorded the drums on it, and even he was like, "Man, Dad, that's pretty busy. You sure you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do it." And
Let's do it.
Go figure, man. People were just like, "That song is great."
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Check this one out, and we'll be right back to wrap things up with the Miguel Hernandez guys. Check it out, La Duda, right here, Tejano Time Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning into the show once again, and we'll be right back.
Get down, baby. Una noche de mi vida te encontré por mi camino y no te puedo olvidar. Yo no sé si fue el destino el que quiso vernos juntos o fue la casualidad. Lo que sí quiero decirte es que te quiero con el alma y te adoro hasta la muerte. Y si tú me abandonaras, culparía yo el destino y la cruel fatalidad. Una noche de mi vida te encontré por mi camino y no te puedo olvidar. Yo no sé si fue el destino el que quiso vernos juntos o fue la casualidad. Lo que sí quiero decirte es que te quiero con el alma y te adoro hasta la muerte. Y si tú me abandonaras, culparía yo el destino y la cruel fatalidad.
There you have it right there, La Duda from Miguel Hernandez right here on Tejano Time, guys. Yes, that's right. So, and a big shout out to, let me see, Potencia, Grupo Potencia también is tuned in as well. Mr. David Valdez has still got us locked in. Also going out to Gregory Ramirez over at the Red Room Records. He says, saludos, Miguel.
Yeah. Saludos, everybody. Saludos. Thank you for tuning in.
Para Mr. Joe Guerra también. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for watching on one of our platforms over there as well. Yeah, so Miguel, anywhere, give me some handles on some of your social media so everybody that's watching, that watches the show, can look you up on social media so they know where to find you and keep up with what's going on.
They can find me under Miguel Hernandez Music. That would be Miguel HDEZ Music. That's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, MySpace. No, I'm just kidding. So on all social media, and of course, you can find all my music on all digital platforms on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon. I'm there, man. So, and if there's any places that are not carrying my music, I know that there's still a few mom and pop places in town and in other cities. They should carry my music, and if they don't, they can always message me. I actually, which has been so weird, and I don't know if it's courtesy of your show or whatever, but I had gotten some people that actually messaged me and asked me to purchase some CDs
tumblers and things for me directly. So which I did, so they can do that as well. So they can inbox me, and if there's anything that they can't find, I may have it still.
There you
So,
go.
and if there's any artists or any bands that want to collab, or they want a demo done, or they want a single done, they can hit us up at the Raw Elements Music Group. And again, on social media, they can inbox me, and we can make their vision come true.
You go. Yes, amazing stuff, man. Does all that stuff, all that, again, raw elements right there, man. So that's amazing. We didn't get to touch on that, but that's another show. We'll definitely talk about that in the future. También, Miguel, I know you do a lot of work there, in the studio, like I said, for not just yourself and your son and whatnot, your band, or what you got for your music, but you do a lot of stuff for other artists también. So that's another good thing as well. So again, reach out to him, inbox him, get some details on it. He will give you all the information you need. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no tariffs here yet, so we'll make it very reasonable.
Pretty reasonable. There you go. That's right. Reach out to him, Mr. Miguel Hernandez, guy. So again, Miguel, thank you. God bless, my brother. Good luck in the near future on everything that you have coming up, and we will talk to you very, very soon. También, once again. Tony, any last words?
No, thank you for joining us tonight. You look like you've had a busy schedule and stuff, but man, we appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight, and it was nice meeting your boys también. So you guys take care of your dad out there.
Oh, we will.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. God bless both of you, and thank you for everybody that tuned in. And Tejano Times podcast. Thank you so much, guys.
No problem. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, guys.